guys, what's up, Mustangs? Boo Guy actually went back to Forza Motorsport, so it's a bit of a challenge. Now, back in the 1970s, late 60s, was the prime of the American muscle car. Lots of power, rear-wheel drive, looked like a brick, but was very, very fast and very, very cheap. And they made a racing series off of it called Trans Am. Now that since has defunct. I believe it ended up, like, the governing body eventually became ISMA, who runs the WeatherTech Sports Car Championship and the Continental Tires Championship. So, I mean, it's kind of there in the Continental Tires, but not really. It's more like they have McLaren in there and Mazda as well, but anyway. And there hasn't really been an American muscle car racing series since. Like I said, there's ISMA, but that's not just American muscle cars. So, what if you made a modern Trans Am race? Now, they don't quite have the same number of cars. They don't quite have the Mercury Cougar, the Dodge Daytona. You don't have those more defunct vehicles, like or manufacturers are now gone. Oldsmobile's gone, Cognac gone, something like that. So, we have the big three. We have Chevrolet with their Camaro SS ZL1, and we have Ford with the GT350R, soon to be the 700 horsepower GT500, but that's not in the game, so we have to use 300 to 350. And we have Dodge with their Chargers and Challenger Hellcats. So, what if you got a field of them, completely bone stock, and did some racing? Would they be as fun as it was back in the days? And how close would that racing be? So I went to 3 different tracks, completely random grid layouts, and yeah, I went to see how it would fare. To start things off, we went to Lime Rock, and you can see the staggered start. I didn't mean to do that, that kind of just ended up happening. And the color palette is certainly very interesting, with greens and blacks and grays and yellows all over the place, and reds too. It was a very colorful pack, and this is actually not me, but this is an onboard car with a GT350R. You can see in the background another one is going too wide with a Camaro. The Camaro holds on the outside and will get the position. Up ahead, a Mustang is going against a Hellcat. I know the name, really I do, the Challenger. And it's pretty much too wide all over the place. The Camaro has faster straight line speed, but slightly worse under brakes, so you get a little bit of a bump up, and a little bit slow through here, but we all managed to make it through. And the Mustang here that we're following, well, gets a look at the skills parade, with all the colors right in front of him, and behind him. So, he's going to chase down the white Camaro, or it's 2 Camaros. The Camaros did not get generous grid positions. They did not. I got a fantastic position, got in the top, got it number 6 on the grid, I think. But you can see the lack of straight line speed that Mustang has. You can see the Camaro behind closing fast. Although it does close very quickly and the Camaro has very good brakes, the Mustang just has better brakes. And it's slightly better on the corners. Not much, but it's slightly better on the corners. So you can see it's right on the back of this white Camaro, or right in front of him, which is perceived to be right on the back of the red Hellcat. He does go to the outside, which is a risky maneuver on here. He does actually make it work. They'll give each other space, but then again, the Camaro has more straight line speed and will pull away just enough to be able to defend into the next zone. And once again, a little bit of a bunch up. The Camaro goes too wide. The red Camaro tries to go on the inside, doesn't quite make it stick. He takes too shallow of a line and will lose that attempt. Sorry, in that position he didn't have in the first place. And he's immediate, and the white Camaro up ahead did manage to get the position, and now the Mustang carry all of the corner speed heading on to this start-finish straightaway, but then gets, well, disintegrated by the Challengers and Chargers speed. You can see the closing speed of that Camaro as well, so he does have to defend to the inside a little bit. You can see up there the yellow car is going too wide. The Camaro doesn't quite have enough grip. The Mustang will hold it on the outside. It was great racing. It was fantastic racing. And he would, once again, try to close up that gap. Now, I was also in a GT350R. I got a fantastic grid position. I'm in 4th place right now, trying to catch up to the podium positions, which are going too wide. The Camaro wisely backs out of it, and will fall into 3rd behind a Mustang in 2nd, and a Charger leading the way in 1st place. I'm going to try and go to the outside. I outbrake him, I go wide, I go a little too wide, and I will somehow manage to maintain that position. I outbrake him again, and I will keep that position. He will fight back, though, heading into this straight-ish section, the speed zone, but doesn't quite have an answer for my brakes and acceleration. This thing does put the power down remarkably well. Has humongous rear tires, and not too much power means they can get all of its power down immediately, which is nice in this field, because the Challengers and Chargers can't do that. The Camaros can possibly do that, but it's difficult. I run a wheel on the grass, that's not fun. Do manage to cover it, get a fantastic run on my fellow Mustang, and I do get a slipstream, because for once, well, I'm not, well, slower than this vehicle, so I will slipstream past him, heading up to the Charger in 2nd place. Now, this is going to be a little tricky. This is a 5-lap race, so not too long. And I would be struggling, I wouldn't say struggling, it would be difficult to get passes done. You can see I'm sliding a little bit. I'm right on the bump, I'm literally on the bumper of him. And then he just uses his straight line speed. So getting this vehicle past was very difficult, because, well, yes, you have all the straight line speed in the world, but since it's such a big boat, you can't get by it with any speed, and then once you do get any speed, he will just obliterate you in a straight line. So getting this vehicle, getting past this Charger was proving to be difficult. I go for the inside, I do hold it on the inside, and then it comes to this section, which I will just outbrake him. I can just take that line on the inside much faster than they can, and I will get promoted into 1st place. Once again, you see the Charger's closing speeds, but then you can see my braking distance, which is far better than his, and despite the fact he was alongside me, into the entrance of the corner, I am now probably a corner and a half ahead of him. Yeah, the Mustang's brakes are pretty much unmatchable in the rest of the field, and I will maintain my position and run away as fast as possible. The fighting towards the back of the field was still very much going on, as this Camaro was recently promoted up to 16th place. This was a 23-car grid, 24 if you count me. So, yeah, lots of action going on through the field. And this Camaro was making progress. He had a little bit of bumping, a little bit of rowing, possibly off the track at one point. And they were trying to overtake. You see a yellow vehicle trying to go for the inside of a Dodge, if you will, make that mover stick. And you can see in the background a white Camaro is overtaking a Mustang down the straights. And you just see the closing speed of the Camaro on the Charger, and in the background, the Mustang on the Camaro. So you can see the order of braking skill and turning skill here. You can see the Camaro is going on the outside of the Charger and does make it stick. The Mustang is right on the back of the Charger as the Camaro will finish the pass heading into the 2nd chicane. And it was a very, very contested group towards the back here. The Mustang had the best brakes of all of them, but sucked in the straight line speed department. The Camaro was a good overall vehicle, very good overall vehicle. And the Camaro and the Challenger and Charger, as we approached the final lap of the race, the Charger did make up a bit of ground in some straight line speed sections. I made a little bit of a mistake on the track slightly. And you can see the Charger is approaching on this final lap, but I can just outbrake him. I did that to numerous vehicles. I gave him space on the inside, but you can just see the corner speed of the Mustang is pretty much unmatched in this field. It's a seriously fast car. And this is pretty much how the field would finish. The Mustang would come in 1st, a Charger in 2nd, another Mustang in 3rd, a Camaro in 4th, and another Mustang in 5th. Yeah, the Mustangs were the most frequent vehicle in the top 5. I did make a little bit of mistakes. You can see the Charger is closing, but it's not enough. So my Mustang will claim victory in Lime Rock. Good fun. You can see I went off the track again, trying to push myself really hard. The Charger just tried to make a move, but doesn't quite work. And yeah, this was quite a fun little race that we had. For our second race, we would go to Lime Rock, and once again, I accidentally set the staggered start on. So, yeah. Once again, the Dodgers were given a very generous grid position, and you can see the challengers are making good progress through the straight line speed. This is the club circuit of Road Atlanta. And, yeah, this is pretty much a Chargers' worst nightmare. Lots of high speed, medium speed corners, not very many straightaways. It was likely to be a struggle for the challengers. I didn't intentionally pick. You can see we're going too wide through here. Yes, not everyone want to go too wide, but the Mustang makes it stick, and the Camaro is immediately under threat as the Charger goes again. A little bit of contact between my Mustang and a Challenger, which ended up getting stuck on a wall, unfortunately. But that's just how racing goes. We were a very big group, which got a little too close, and that's unfortunately how racing goes. Now, there's this long back straightaway which does help with the Challengers here, but you can see we're very close together. Yeah, it was too wide, pretty much throughout the field, and I didn't intentionally pick all tracks that the Challengers didn't like. I just picked ones that were American because it's a trans-American series, and you can see the speed. That's another thing I found interesting. The corner speed can help make the Camaros and the Mustangs faster than the Challengers and Chargers. It's because the fact that they are, well, so slow to the corners, and the Mustangs and Camaros can make so much more speed through the corners, they can essentially go faster down these straightaways. Now, during the very long back straightaway, they won't be faster. But through these other straightaways, like the one you just saw there, the start-finish line straight, they're actually faster than the Challengers and Chargers, just because they can carry so much more corner speed. Now, you will see the Challenger here just breeze away, giving it a little bit of a gap from that Camaro. You see it just pull a bit of a margin, but then it's right back on it. Right back on it. Now, it did outbrake itself, but yeah, it's very, very hectic in this field. Now, I was in a 10th place here, trying to catch up to a Charger in 9th, which I pretty much automatically did. And then he gets a better run. I got a little bit of wheel spin, and he would get a better run out of this, but then I can carry the corner speed on the straightaway, as I mentioned earlier. I carried too much corner speed, was about to run in the back of the guy, had to go off the track to avoid him, and then I would proceed to lose all my precious momentum. And I would get swallowed up by the Horde, or not the Horde, I almost got swallowed up by the Horde. Lost some ground to that guy, the Charger, but you can see I'm already on the inside. It's not really giving me room on the inside, but I was on the inside, and I will be able to maintain my position here, and just start going after a Challenger, or just going after a Mustang in front. And you can just see the closing speed. I mean, look at that closing speed. It's so fast, this car down that section. It's just absurd how fast the Mustang is around these corners. And yeah, it's an interesting sight, because you can see here, I was really close, but now the Challengers are, I can just pull away. The Hellcat can just pull away. Now, I did a very, very big lunge, I don't think I was quite expecting that. I took a massive dive there, and I did somehow manage to pull it up. And then I ran across a buddy who I could actually, not be slower than. Got in the slipstream, and was able to pretty much breeze around the outside, you can see there. That is the power of momentum. There's the Camaro, which I breeze by, and I can just about outbrake. And I leave a door open for my Mustang teammate. You can see there he makes the move on the inside. So, a little bit of Mustang teamwork on the Camaro, but there you go. And then I'm immediately on the back of the white Charger again. There's a few of them in this field. And you can just see the closing speed. I'm actually going to show you the view of the Charger there. So here you can see it facing backwards from the Charger. You can see how fast the Mustang closes up, and then it's right on the bumper. As in, you'll see it here right about now. You cannot get closer than that. And then the Mustang will proceed to go on the inside. Yeah, it tried to fight back, but it really couldn't. At the front, it was a Dodge domination. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5th place was being held by either Chargers or Challengers. And they pulled a fairly big margin from the rest of the field. I think they all pretty much started on pole. You can see in the background, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the Camaro in the background. That's a lot of Dodges. They were doing very well on this track, at least in the beginning. This is probably lap 3 out of 5. You can see they are slowly starting to be caught. But, as of right now, this lime green Charger, very distinctive. You can see in the background a Mustang that's going, I think that's me, on the inside of a Charger there, and you can see I did get the position in the background. Yeah. They were catching, I think it was helped by the fact they started on pole, this vehicle started on pole. But, yeah, they were trying to hold out for the remainder of the race, because they only had 2 more laps trying to defend from the Mustang and the Camaro in the far background. But it was only a matter of time. And on this final lap, I was the only Mustang, actually the only non-Dodge in the top 5. And I knew I needed to act quickly, because I only had 1 more lap to try and overtake all of these Dodges. There was a Camaro in 6th place, which was trying to overtake, and there was a Mustang behind that. And I will go to the outside of another Charger, and I will manage to get the move sticking. And you can see the corner speed that the Mustang has. I'm actually closing on the Challenger. In fact, I'm ready to overtake the Challenger here. You can see right there, I just get my nose on the inside, and I can just... It's a simple overtake like that. You just gotta be like, get that done. And I was in 3rd place at this point. Desperately, I was throwing everything I had at this course. I was going flat. I was going maximum attack mode to try and get these guys. You can see I'm closing fast. I go for the outside. I see an inside gap, but I don't have the speed off of the corner because he blocks me. And then comes the Dodge's favorite section, the straightaway on the back. And they just pull a huge gap. I knew I only have 2 more corners left to go. I have the switchback in the final one. I dive on the inside here. I was going for the inside, then he closed on me. I took an accidental gap. I didn't really mean to do that, but I'm sorry. That's just how it works occasionally. And I would try as much as I could. It wasn't enough. And right into the barrier across the line. Yeah. So it will be a Dodge first, Mustang second, Dodge's 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So they did very good at this track. And the final race would have to be at Laguna Seca. Now the Camaros were not given a very good grid positioning, with 4 of them in the bottom 5 positions. The game was not generous with the cars. There was a little bit of a backup, a little bit of bumping. Cars got stuck for a little bit. The leaders did get a bit of a gap. I did manage to fix the rolling start. That did not happen for this time. It was all standing, all win at the exact same time. And you can see once again we're immediately too wide. That's just how this is. And it was really very, very good. I was thoroughly enjoying this, and I was expecting Laguna Seca to have the best racing. That's just how Laguna Seca is. Laguna Seca is a fantastic track. One of my personal favorites. Not just because our car is named after it, but because it is a fantastic track just to hot lap around. The corkscrew is a nasty little thing, and you'll see the Charger in the background. Spinning his wheels up a little bit. The Camaros are going too wide, fighting each other. It's not the best thing to do when you're trying to overtake other vehicles, but there you go. They do manage to sort themselves out. The gray car will get the position. And now we head into, well, one of the most famous corners in the world, the corkscrew. And we're going 2 wide, almost 3 wide in the corkscrew. There is a little bit of off-track skirts, a little bit of sideways action, running wide on both the inside and the outside. But they all make it through cleanly, no one hit the wall. That's good. And the Charger is managing to go on the outside of a yellow Camaro in the background. That was a brave maneuver from the Charger. Same thing with the Challenger here, going the outside on this Camaro. They were getting brave. They were getting very brave with these vehicles. Unfortunately, it took a little bit too shallow of a line and would dump down as with the blue car here. not quite have the acceleration. The Charger's out dragging its fellow Challenger, which can have some disastrous consequences, we will now find out. As they both go into the sand trap along with this guy. Yeah, a lot of cars did that. a lot of cars. Probably about 6 or 7 of them went off on this first lap, because no one quite knew what to do about the nasty Turn 1 entrance. Quite possibly one of the nastiest entrances in the Turn 1 you will see in a track, and a lot of vehicles went off on that corner. This Mustang here was seeming to go on an overtaking showcase. It was making very quick progress through the field, and it's coming up against the Challenger now. It'll go to the inside of the Challenger. The Challenger does have the straight line speed, so it can't get any advantage in the braking zone. And the Challenger holding on the outside. I was not expecting the Challenger to be able to hold that maneuver on the outside. That was a very good showing from that car. And then the Mustang says, well, I can do that too. And goes around the outside of the Challenger. It's just a stupidly grippy vehicle, that Mustang. The Challenger doesn't want to fight back, but wisely backs out of it, heading into this very fast corner. That's 1 car wide. You never want to go too much in that corner, it's just not going to work. And you can see the run it gets on the Dodge group over here. It'll go to the inside of the red vehicle, heading into the corkscrew, and we're too wide. Too wide to the corkscrew, we'll manage to make it stick, and it'll go after a fellow gray vehicle up front. Yeah, some of the vehicles were very vibrant, some of them were not so vibrant at all. So it would go chasing after this Challenger. You can see just the speed it carries out of the corners. But then comes the Challenger's main advantage in here, which is the long finish straight. That is, and they were going 3 wide in the background too, because, you know, of course they are. 3 wide in that corner. The Camaros and Challengers will manage to hold their positions. They don't want to get an overtake. The Challenger in the background tried to go fast, ran wide again, as did the car this vehicle was trying to overtake. The red Challenger managed to recover it, though, with minimal time lost. Actually made up time. But then the Mustang can just pull away. And pull away, and pull away, and pull away. That was a common theme we were seeing throughout the field over the course of 3 races, that the Challenger could get close over the straightaways, but then it just loses so much time around the rest of the track, it can't really fight back against the Mustang and the Camaro. At the front, we found a lone Charger trying to defend against not 1, not 2, but 4 Mustangs. Yeah, last race was a very Dodge-dominated round. The Mustangs were tired of that and wanted to get revenge. So they took up 4 out of the 5 top 5 positions. And the Chargers have an advantage of having the Mustangs fighting each other. It's pushing it really close over the edge, and you see the white Mustang is trying to get a look. It's not quite close enough heading in. This is another 5-lap race. I wanted to get some short laps, get some more racing in. And you can see they're trying to go for it, but they just can't do it. They just can't do it. The Chargers are doing a very good job of defending this Mustang horde. Yeah, it was an interesting role reversal for this car, because back in the previous race at Road Atlanta, there was 1 Mustang in the top 5 versus 4 Chargers and Challengers, and now there was 1 Charger in the group of 4 or 5 Mustangs. Yeah, roles were truly reversed. They did try to go too wide. I told them not to go too wide. Somehow everyone makes it through, and the Charger comes out on top. And it will just be able to pull away from the Mustang a little bit, but not enough. The Mustang's able to outbrake it into this corner. And the first Mustang is past hanging the corkscrew, but then immediately runs wide. And gives the position back to the Chargers, so everything is the exact same except for my Mustang, which we're now going 3 wide in. I did accidentally bump that vehicle. He still maintained his 3rd place. So yeah, the Charger was given a massive help by, well, us going 3 wide and the 2nd place car going off the track. Yeah, it was hectic. Very hectic, as we once again go 2 wide. So this is all helping the Charger. As we go on to the last lap, you can see we brought a Camaro along in the background. And once again, I think by this point the drivers were getting a hang of the vehicles and not going off the track too much. I think I saw one more on the last lap, but they were all over the back. You can see how the Camaro actually managed to get an overtake on the 5th place Mustang to now make it 3 Mustangs in the top 5. But this Charger, man, it was struggling. It was pure defensive once more to try and hold off these cars. It was good fun. It was good fun. You can see I'm trying to overtake for second, and the second place guy goes to overtake the Charger and will finally get the move done after a lap and a half. And then come the rest of the Mustangs, which are just waiting. And you can see the speed I carry, give him a little bit of a bump, and that kills my momentum, but I managed to stick alongside just enough to outbrake him before the corkscrew. So now it was all a matter for me whether or not I could get that first place Mustang. And then it was down to Mustang versus Mustang for first place heading on to the last lap. I was in the blue one, trying to overtake the first place vehicle. You can see the gap we pulled already to the back of the grid. And I knew this would be the last chance I got. So I was in, once again, maximum attack mode on the final lap, trying to get from second place to first place. But we're in identical vehicles, and overtaking in identical vehicles is extremely difficult. The Charger was still holding on to third place somehow. So, very good job to that guy. And I did not have a very good run in this corner, so I had to make it up. He extended his lead a fair bit. I made a few mistakes. Some sloppy lines, I guess would be the better word, not mistakes, but sloppy lines. So I knew I only had a half a lap to go to try and make up a second gap, a little less. And then I had to overtake, which is much more difficult than just making up the gap. So I had to be brave. Very brave. I was pretty much flat out through there. A little bit of a wheel on the sand, but it didn't cause me too many problems, and I got a slipstream heading into here. But, once again, we equaled out. We didn't have too much more. I went for an inside dive. I outbraked myself. I dived too much. Lost my position. And I was down to 3 more corners to try and overtake this guy. I'm right on the back of him. He's blocking the inside. We are bumper to bumper, heading into the second to last corner. I'm trying from the outside. It's not working. We have 1 more corner left to go. I knew I had to do something, so I threw it into the inside. And I will manage to just about nose my way through. He goes for a cutback, doesn't make it stick. And I will claim first. And second will go to the Mustangs as well. So there is the final total. Mustangs will claim first, second, fourth, fifth, 6th, and 12th. Very good showing from them. The Charger managed to hold on to 3rd. Very good showing from that. The highest placed Camaro was down in 7th place, which does beat the highest placed Challenger in 8th place. Yeah, a Camaro claimed 9th, and a Challenger claimed 10th. Very interesting showing. Mustangs are pretty much the way of the vehicle to have at Laguna Seca. They had just incredible corner speed. There were some nasty high-speed corners in this one, but the Charger was a bit of an oddball and managed to hold on to his 3rd place, so that was a truly fantastic showing from the Charger.